We finally have a release date for the upcoming anime Tekken Bloodline, August 18th. In the newest trailer that dropped on July 18th, we saw the appearances of even more fan favorites we can expect to see: Hwoarang, Julia Chang, and Nina Williams. I'm personally excited for this series and have been looking forward to this all year, as the Tekken lore has always been interesting to me, especially with the history of the Mishimas beating each other up. With that being said, what can we expect to see in Tekken Bloodline? This is my breakdown, analysis, and opinion on the Tekken Bloodline trailer and everything we know so far. Let's first analyze the trailer shot by shot for what we do know. The first shot is Jun talking to Jin in a place that looks like a combination of Vermilion Gates and Infinite Azure, as she asks him, "What is it that haunts you?" We then see someone's silhouette, most likely a young Jin, in front of a face that has its eyes closed, and then they suddenly open, which shows that it is Ancient Ogre who is watching, as Jun follows up with, "Whose eyes peer at you from the darkness?" The next shot cuts to Jin's right eye staring at the screen, as it crossfades with the back of Heihachi's gi shown as he says, "Kazama." Heihachi follows up with, "Think of your helplessness when Ogre killed your mother," as we see shots of Jin crying possibly at the aftermath of the attack, Jun standing her ground, Ancient Ogre throwing a punch that is blocked by Jun, and a resulting explosion as we see Jin staring at the fire, as a picture of his mother holding him as a baby falls to the ground. Heihachi narrates with, "In order to defeat him, you must purge the Kazama pacifism and stoke your Mishima fire," as we see another shot of Jin facing the fire, thinking about the days he trained with his mother, and again staring at the fire as we see the reflection of Heihachi in his pupil. Jun is shown as she's about to train with Jin, but it crossfades to Heihachi about to train with Jin. Heihachi continues with, "I'm going to tear you down completely, then I will build you back up. Your body itself will be a weapon, Mishima style is the only way," when Jin is hit with a lightning bolt punch, followed by a tsunami kick combo. Heihachi unleashes a demon uppercut, though with his left hand instead of his right, as he's narrating the aforementioned dialogue with Jin weaving between sandbags, Heihachi hitting Jin with a demon breath, then with a flash punch combo as we saw in the initial teaser, and Jin panting on the ground. Jin manages to parry Heihachi's Shingetsu-sen and grows stronger as he does push-up on his knuckles, striking sand with his hands, punches a tree, and learns to block Heihachi's attack as we see his iconic glove striking the rope-bound tree again. Jin then uses a left-right combo on Heihachi, performs his own Shingetsu-sen, and breaks some sort of bricks with a flame filter over the shot as it fades out. Heihachi says it's time as Jin gets into his classic stance. We then see a zoom in of Heihachi welcoming guests to the King of Iron Fist tournament in a stadium. King 2 looks up at Heihachi as it zooms out showing him standing next to Feng Wei. Heihachi remarks that only the best can compete in the King of Iron Fist competition as the stadium lights up and shows an upcoming match between Leroy Smith and Jin Kazama. Another matchup is shown between Paul Phoenix and King 2. Paul greets the camera as he stands in front of a car next to Julia Chang and Nina Williams, who also greets the camera, who is presumably Jin. Jin remarks to Ling Xiaoyu that Williams is a killer, who responds with, "She doesn't look too dangerous," as Nina is shown visibly angry. Hwoarang laughs and remarks, "That's the spirit." Nina questions if the two are friends, with both responding no, as Hwoarang hits Jin with a backlash, but Jin parries it. Leroy remarks that he'd love to teach one of Heihachi's goons a lesson, as he hits a Viper Bow kick, but he gets blocked by Jin. Jin remarks that he'll see Leroy in the ring, as Jin counters with a spinning demon. Paul and Jin wish each other luck, as the former says, "Who needs luck? I got the skills." King 2 is then hit by a shoulder smash, a shredder, and a phoenix smash. The next shot shows a young woman standing next to Heihachi as a door opens, who is then seen talking to Jin, asking him to not advertise you're related to Mr. Kazuya Mishima, as we see Kazuya defeating Heihachi, presumably at the end of the first King of Iron Fist tournament. Nina tells Jin that Kazuya was evil personified and warns Jin not to get involved with the Mishima bloodline. Heihachi is shown, presumably from the years of training Jin, and then hits Jin with a Wind God Fist, followed by a demon uppercut. King 2 is shown fighting Jin, using a lasso kick, then Hwoarang sends Jin through a wall with a rejector. We see Heihachi powering up and hits Jin with a demon breath during the tournament as Paul looks on. Heihachi narrates with every opponent you defeat is one step closer to defeating Ogre, as we see a shot of Ancient Ogre, Jin hitting Heihachi in the air with the demon steel pedal, and landing afterward, though this could be Ancient Ogre arriving and not from Jin kicking Heihachi. Jin says challenge accepted, while his eyes glow red and Ancient Ogre screams as his eyes glow. We see some very quick cuts which show Nina running toward her opponent most likely, Jin running towards Ancient Ogre, which makes sense with the previous shot I mentioned, Julia Chang fighting Heihachi as he does a demon breath, a bloody Jin who is then hit by Hwoarang with the firecracker, Heihachi staring at Jin, Jin shocked by lightning, Jin then stares at the screen, cutting to the next shot of Heihachi also looking at lightning, Ancient Ogre is shown from when he attacked Jun and Jin, and finally Jin hitting Hwoarang with a rising uppercut as the final shot cuts to the logo. Here are my observations on what we can expect in the show that has been confirmed in the teaser and trailer. As I deduced in my previous video, Tekken Bloodline will take place after the events of Tekken 2 all the way up until at least the end of the third King of Iron Fist tournament that took place in Tekken 3, as we saw that Jin as an adult is going to fight Ancient Ogre. It'll be very interesting to see firsthand how Jin adapts to the Mishima fighting style and how Heihachi is going to treat Jin the same way he treated Kazuya as a kid, minus being thrown off a cliff or into a volcano. It's very possible that we can see some flashbacks to what occurred in both Tekken 1 and 2, as we saw Kazuya defeat Heihachi as a nod to the first tournament, and we know Heihachi reclaims the Mishima Zaibatsu because he canonically defeated Kazuya at the end of Tekken 2. Speaking of tournaments, so far, these fighters are who we know that are going to be competing outside of Jin and Heihachi. Paul Phoenix, King 2, Nina Williams, Julia Chang, Hwoarang, Leroy Smith, Ling Xiaoyu, and to my surprise, Feng Wei. It's interesting that Bloodline is taking the same approach that Tekken the Motion Picture did by bringing in characters who canonically did not appear until later games, as Fang didn't debut until Tekken 5 and Leroy Smith debuted in Tekken 7. For example, although the movie was supposed to be an adaptation of the Tekken 1 storyline, Bruce Irvin, Dr. Boskanovich, Jane, Jack 2, Jun Kazama, Jin Kazama, and Lei Wulong, who all appeared in Tekken 2 or onward, all make appearances, and if you want to count the opening sequence, even though the characters shown don't appear in the film itself, then we can also include the plethora of Tekken 3 characters that appear in said sequence. It's clear that Devil Jin will be playing a part as previously suspected, given the glow in Jin's eyes as he says challenge accepted, and perhaps this could also be evidenced by the lightning that Jin and Heihachi stare at in their respective shots. I would imagine that this would also come into play due to Jin seeing Ancient Ogre again for the first time, and would explain why he more than likely would run through all of the fighters, as he did in the video game. Last but not least, Leroy Smith facing Jin one-on-one is going to be exciting, as it's clear that he's personally seeking revenge, as it was the Mishima Zaibatsu who was responsible for the large-scale gang war that destroyed his home and his family. Here are some theories of what could occur, or some storylines that I'd personally like to see. Perhaps the reason Feng Wei is competing in the tournament is his own personal vendetta with Heihachi. According to his background when he debuted in Tekken 5, he learns that the Mishima stole the Shinken Scrolls, which contain secrets that would allow him to master his art. One rival of his, Lei Wulong, who is also a prominent Tekken character, is notably absent from the teasers that we've seen. In Tekken 5 and 6, Lei attempts to arrest Feng for his crimes, so perhaps we will also see Lei in the tournament and have a confrontation with Feng. It's possible that the woman who is standing next to Heihachi and warns Jin about mentioning his relationship to Kazuya is Emma Cleason, the mother of Leo Cleason, who first appeared in Tekken 6. Although the woman seen in the trailer is brunette, if her shirt and coat swapped colors, she would look like Emma in Steven's Tekken Tag 2 ending. In the canon, Emma worked for the Mishima Zaibatsu under Heihachi and worked in genetic research. Most notably, while Nina Williams was cryogenically frozen, the research program used her eggs to give birth to Steve Fox, who Emma was in charge of observing, and helped Steve fake his death so he could have a chance at life. Prior to the events of Tekken 6, she worked for G Corporation but died at the hands of Kazuya. As we know, canonically, Nina Williams reawakens from her sleep before the third King of Iron Fist tournament takes place, and is there to assassinate Jin. These events would all line up for Tekken Bloodline for this person to be Emma. This could be further solidified by Jin's statement as he tells Ling that Nina is a killer. Nina is also the one who asks if Hwoarang and Jin are friends, as a nod to their long-standing frenemy relationship from the Tekken games. Perhaps we can see the first fight that took place between the two that leads to Hwoarang wanting to fight Jin again, as in the game's storyline, the two fought to a draw in South Korea, which tarnished his reputation. It's interesting that some other prominent characters are absent, such as Bryan Fury, Eddie Gordo, and Forrest Law, as all three of these are classic characters in my opinion, and also have their own prominent roles and rivalries with other characters in the story. Yoshimitsu is also absent, but perhaps we'll see some of these characters in the season itself or in a later season. I think it's also understandable that perhaps Bloodline aims to not cram so many characters in at once, or at least have the right amount so characters have a prominent role and is not just there for fan service. I'm really hoping for more time for Kazuya to be on screen, but but I do appreciate the fact that they are focusing more on Jin than Kazuya, but it would still be nice to see if we see some sort of interaction between father and son. Here are my final thoughts about Tekken Bloodline before seeing the series. With the new sneak peek we've been given, I'm even more hyped for this series than I was before. I'm surprised that they are adding newer characters like Feng and Leroy into the anime, and even having some characters sport some of their later looks such as Julia and Nina. I'm glad to see some of my previous predictions were correct in some things that we will be seeing, such as more time focused on Jin learning the Mishima style, the rivalry between Jin and Hwoarang, Jin and Zhao Yu interacting, Devil Jin, and Jin facing off with Ancient Ogre. I'm really hoping for Tekken to be up there with Detective Pikachu, Sonic, Castlevania, and others as one of the better video game adaptations given the mixed reception of Resident Evil. Perhaps if anything, we can also see some future Tekken seasons diving into the events before Tekken 3 and afterwards, particularly with Tekken 4, as that is one of my favorites. Either way, I'm excited for Tekken Bloodline and will be tuning in August 18th. Before I go, I want to give a quick shout out and thanks to my partners and affiliates. I now have official merchandise. Go to strifethewarrior.art or click on any of the merchandise below the comment section. I'm running a promotion for 10% off from now until August 1st, so use coupon code NEWMERCH. If you need to prevent a security cyber attack from the Mishima Zaibatsu, go to nordvpn.com/strifethewarrior or use coupon code StrifeTheWarrior to get a NordVPN 2-year plan with a huge discount. You can use NordVPN to unlock Netflix and your favorite entertainment websites that are not available here in the US. You can connect up to 6 devices at the same time with one account. There is no data logging whatsoever, and it works even in China. NordVPN works with Windows, Mac OS, Linux, iOS, and Android, has a Chrome extension which is very user-friendly, and unlimited bandwidth. If you're not happy with it for any reason, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. With 7 World Heavyweight Championships under its belt, it's no wonder why NordVPN is a winner. If you use this code, you'll also help directly support my channel. So go to nordvpn.com/strifethewarrior or use coupon code StrifeTheWarrior at checkout. Last but not least, I'm sure I have a good majority of gamers in the audience, but did you know you can grab some excellent games while supporting charities at the same time? If you haven't already, you should check out HumbleBundle. They've raised over $200 million in charity since 2010 and feature a different charity site-wide every month. If you see a bundle you like, you can pay for what you want, and in return get computer programs, games, ebooks, etc., and the proceeds support charity. Go to HumbleBundle.com and use my referral link in the description at checkout. As always, these referral links help support the channel, so thank you NordVPN and thank you HumbleBundle. Let me know what you guys think down below. What are you looking forward to in Tekken Bloodline? If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like it, subscribe, share it with your friends, and comment, as these all help my channel grow. If you're new to my channel, feel free to check out my analysis on Cobra Kai and Tiger and Bunny, another 2 amazing shows that are also on Netflix, as they will also have new seasons coming out in the fall as well. And if you haven't already, check out the first breakdown I did on Tekken Bloodline. Be sure to check out and subscribe to my second gaming channel. I'm trying to get this channel to 1,000 subscribers, and supporting this channel also helps me support my main channel. I'll be uploading more clips to this gaming channel, so stay tuned for that. Keep up with me on my socials via Instagram and Twitter. Shout out to my YouTube members, I appreciate the support. If you'd like to directly support the channel, consider becoming a member and enjoy perks such as VIP channels access in Discord, preview videos before release, 15% off of merch, members only live streams and chats, and more, all for only 99 cents. Thanks for watching, stay beautiful, stay awesome, and we'll catch you around next time.